True Detective Night Country is a show that features strong, independent women, and the showrunner thought that this would turn out extremely successful just because of this, but now she has had the audacity to complain about fans of the first season and how her series has low ratings. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube membership. So I wanted to start off with this Fandom Pulse article, and it says True Detective Night Country showrunner Issa Lopez had previously said of True Detective Season 4, where True Detective is male and it's sweaty, Night Country is cold, it's dark, and it's female. It turns out the Kathleen Kennedy method, put a chick in it and make it lame, works as well as would be expected. Now, of course, True Detective is very well known for its majorly fantastic season 1, okay? Season 1 was truly spectacular. And what made it spectacular not only was, the writing and the story, but also the cast. You had people like Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey together on screen working in this series, and they did a great job. And while they helped make it extremely successful, as it says, where True Detective is male and it's sweaty, this showrunner has now decided to take it in the complete opposite direction and make it cold and dark and female, thinking that that is a way to bring in new viewers. But in the process, she has insulted every fan of season 1, and of course there was season 2 and season 3. This is an anthology, but those seasons were not as highly regarded as season 1, and of course those are who she's attacking. Those are the individuals who she is insulting. When the method failed, Issa Lopez took to Twitter/X to beg for upvotes. So if you like the first episode of True Detective Night Country and have a Rotten Tomatoes account, maybe you could head over there and leave an audience review. And the bros and hardcore fanboys of season 1 have made it a mission to drag the rating down, and it's kind of sad considering all of the 5-star ones, which is just so ridiculous, because without those bros, as you're calling them, and without those hardcore fanboys, the people who loved season 1, you would not have a chance to make this series. You wouldn't have this job, because we are the reason why it was successful in the first place. Again, season 1 was truly a fantastic piece of entertainment, and instead of appreciating what came before her series, she's just trying to drag it down and insult anyone who wanted to support it. And she is sitting here whining and groaning and complaining when in actuality her series isn't being completely panned. I mean, of course, critics gave it a 93. I do not trust critic scores, but the audience score is a 69%, which isn't, perfect, but it's also not terrible. It means it's at least a watchable series, but I'm sure that as she begged on social media, there are people who just blindly left 5 stars to counteract some of the true reviews, because from what I am reading, people are not really all that happy with it, because it goes in a different direction. It says, no, perhaps Night Country just sucks because you followed the Kathleen Kennedy method. The lame plot follows detectives Liz Danvers, Jodie Foster, and Evangeline Navarro, Collie Reese, in the midst of Alaska's perpetual darkness during the polar night, who find themselves entangled in a web of unsolved mysteries that lead them to confront their own pasts. And of course, the narrative is not only focused on over-sensationalized violence against women, but also delves into issues of things like environmentalism. So stunning and brave of Issa Lopez. Yeah, I mean, they made sure that they got the narrative in there. They made sure that specific messages were put into this series. And of course, when you have, a series that's based on murders or, violence, and the victim happens to be a woman, yeah, you're going to have a conversation about it, but yeah, unfortunately, the narrative is focused on over sensationalized violence against women, and then they throw things in there like environmentalism and colonialism, like they just could not help themselves. But another problem, as you read right here, is one of the lead characters is played by Jodie Foster. And while she is a very good actress, do not get me wrong, for years she has, talked about how much of a feminist she is now. She said that she regretted Taxi Driver in 1976 because of how controversial it was viewed and how controversial it still is for some people today. When a 14-year-old actress plays a prostitute, it's bound to upset some people, even if it is a movie. But for years, she has said that, she regrets failing a lot of people as a young star. So she has definitely tried to veer away from being known for that role, or at least not supporting it. But now, she's like doubling and tripling down on the feminism in this new, path which she has been taken down. And of course, that is exactly what actresses like Scarlett Johansson have done. She turned into a complete feminist, complained about hypersexualized females in movies when she built her career on playing sexualized characters because she's a beautiful woman, and Jodie is pulling the same feminist card. Of course, Scarlett Johansson is 22 years younger and could still get those roles, but she realizes she's got to set herself up for something in the long run. And Jodie Foster is 61, and while she is still extremely pretty and again a very good actress, she's out of that younger hot woman realm. And Gillian Anderson has done the same exact thing. If you look at her, she is still so gorgeous, but now that she's 55, she's out of those younger hot roles and just wants to keep in the industry. And so these females say, I have to start playing the feminism card, and Jodie Foster is doing that here. She has picked, this role in this series where, maybe it will help fix her image a little bit. Again, she wants to get as far away from Taxi Driver as she possibly can. And yes, of course, I do not necessarily blame her for all of the messaging that is put into this series, but at the same time, she is part of it. It's very clear why. But my issue here is Issa Lopez, this showrunner, going on social media and attacking people, saying that you're just, a bro and a hardcore fanboy, and that is why my show isn't doing perfect. No, maybe your show isn't doing perfect because people can see through it. People are sick and tired of individuals like you making sure that, a narrative is placed front and center and ultimately shoved into our faces. Of course, a series like this, again, is going to face some uncomfortable truths about, violence and murder, right? But you know what you're getting yourself into. What you don't know what you're getting yourself into is when you throw lines about like environmentalism into it and make it, seem like there's this, disproportionate violence against women. It's just not something that people are going to, particularly stick to. And again, she is so whiny and complaining about literally every single thing that she can. And that is definitely not a good start. Not all of the episodes of this are out. I will be interested to see if the ratings get higher or actually do go lower as time goes on. But yes, of course, this showrunner has tried the Kathleen Kennedy method, then had the audacity to complain about its lower ratings. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.